Welcome to day 6 of 28 days of yoga. We're going to start in Sukhasana. Bring your hands, palms down on your knees. Bring your shoulders up, pull them back, and drop them down. Close your eyes and start to take longer and slower breaths in and out of your nose, if that's available to you. On your next inhale, keeping your hands on your knees, push your chest forward as much as you can and look up. And then exhale, round your back and tuck your chin into your chest. And keep doing that. So we're doing a seated cat-cow. Inhaling, pushing up, looking up. Exhaling, rounding your back and tucking your chin into your chest. And you can keep doing it just like this. Or if you want to, which I want to, we're going to start taking circles. So pushing up and then scraping your body to the right and coming all the way back. Making big circles with your entire body. Working out that spine. Moving your hips in big dramatic circles. If it feels better for you, you can just keep going front to back in your seated cat-cow. But if you're making circles, let's switch and start going in the opposite direction. You can move around in any way that feels good here. I'm hearing and feeling lots of cracks in my body when I do this. And then sit up nice and tall. Ground down the base of your spine to the earth and reach the top of your head up to the sky. We're going to bring our legs wide. Pointing your toes up to the sky, straightening your legs, sitting up nice and tall and keeping your spine long and a straight line from the base to the crown, and fold forward as much as you can. I'd much rather you just stay up here if that's what your body's doing today than to unalign your spine. Like, I don't want you to be rounded or in any funky position when you're folding forward. So keep a nice, long, straight spine. And if this is where you're at today, that's totally fine. And if you want to, you can fold forward a bit more. And I'd much rather you bend your knees a little bit to fold forward than to mess with the alignment of your spine. It's just safer for your body in the long run. You can come up and then you're going to bring your feet together, knees apart, into a butterfly. Go ahead and press those feet forward a little bit so you're creating space, like a diamond shape with your legs. And then sit up nice and tall. And again, fold forward, keeping your spine nice and long. And we're going to sit up. And then we're going to come forward again, but this time I want you to round your back. Think about bringing your head to your feet. And come back up. Bring your feet in closer to you, as close as is comfortable. And I want you to flap your little butterfly wings. You can massage your feet while you're here if you want to. Whatever feels nice. And I'm just going to make some neck circles. So going one way, just rolling your neck around gently, and then going the other way. Working out any cracks. And from here, I want you to bring your feet flat on the ground with your knees bent. So you want your knees to point in the same direction as your toes. And remember, with this pose and with any pose in yoga, you're not trying to look like me, because we're not the same person and our bodies are very different. And with any yoga pose, you're not trying to make a shape. It's not about the aesthetic of it. It's about what feels good for your body, and that might look different for you than it looks for me. So whichever angle your feet and toes end up pointing at, just be sure that they're going in the same direction. So your knees and your toes are pointing in the same direction. And find what's comfortable for you. So you're gonna come up on your feet with your hands behind you to help you get up. And your butt's coming off the ground into Malasana, a nice squat. So this is a really good pose for stretching out your hips, for your lower back, and especially when you have your period, this is a great position for period cramps. It's also a really good position to give birth in. So bring your hands together at your heart, sit up nice and tall. We're gonna do this again, where you bring your shoulders up, pull them back, and drop them down. So grounding the root of your spine into the earth without actually touching the ground. So you're floating, you're hovering, your butt's not on the ground. And then bring your hands on the earth in front of you, lean forward, and slowly stand up. Heel toe your feet out a bit further. And now you're gonna have your feet, your toes are facing outwards to either side, and stand up, keeping your knees bent, coming into goddess pose. Another variation of a squat. And now we're gonna bring our hands to our knees and really just bend into it and twist towards the left, back to center, and twist to the right. And stand all the way up, straighten your legs, and then turn your toes in towards each other. So your big toes are slightly facing each other, and then fold forward with a nice long spine all the way down. Look up and get some length, and then fold forward again. Inhale, come up and get some length, and then reach your arms up all the way up. And then you're gonna turn your right foot so your toes are facing the front of your mat. Your front heel is in line with the back arch of your back foot, keeping weight in your back foot and your front foot. Bend your front knee, your right knee, so it's directly above your right ankle, and open up into warrior two. Breathe in here. And on your next inhale, I want you to reverse your warrior. And while you're in reverse warrior, just straighten that front leg. And then we're going to reach our arm towards the front. Reach until you can't reach anymore. And then put your hand wherever it lands. So maybe it's your shin, your ankle, even the ground. And then reach your left arm up above you. You can turn and look up at the left hand if that's okay on your neck. So we're creating a nice long line from our right tips of our finger all the way to the left tips of our fingers. And come back up into warrior two. Inhale, bring your arms up, straighten both your legs. You're gonna turn your right toes so that they're facing the side of your mat, and turn your left foot so that it's facing the back of your mat, coming into warrior two on this side. So your front heel is in line with your back arch. You're gonna keep weight in that back foot, so pressing into that back foot, grounding down, keeping your knee above your ankle, opening into warrior two, and then on your next inhale, coming into reverse your warrior. And while you're here, you're gonna straighten that front leg and reach all the way until you can't reach anymore, coming into triangle pose. You want your body, your hips to be stacked on top of each other, your arms to be in a straight line, as if somebody could frame you in between two pieces of glass. So there could be a wall behind you and a wall in front of you, and you're nice and squished and aligned in between. And then come back into warrior two. Inhale your arms up, turn your toes in towards each other. Exhale, fold forward. From here, we're gonna heel toe, back, and sit down into Malasana. Now I want you to put all of your weight into your right foot. And it's okay if you put your hands on the ground while you do this, but for some added extra challenge, you could try to keep your hands together at heart center while you keep all your weight in your right foot and straighten your left leg. And now you can put your hands in front of you and fold forward. So your butt is floating in the air. You're balancing on your right foot and your left heel. Come back up. Bring your hands together at heart center, or feel free to keep them on the ground for support, and bend that left leg again. Now we're going to put all of our weight into our left foot and either keep our hands together at heart center or bring them down to the ground if you want that added support. And we're going to straighten our right leg. Sitting up nice and tall, bring your hands in front of you and fold forward. Come back up, and either with your hands together at heart center or on the ground, go ahead and bend that right leg so you're back in Malasana. And we're going to sit down on our butts and come into Sukhasana. Reach your arms all the way up. Bring your right hand to the ground on the right side and reach your left arm up above you, stretching out your left side body. Inhale your arms back up. Bring your left hand to the ground on your left side and reach your right arm all the way up, stretching out your right side body. And inhale your arms all the way up. We're going to come onto our knees, facing the front of our mat, but sitting, standing, half stand, on our knees, towards the back of our mat, maybe more like the middle. And then we're going to bring our left leg straight in front of us. So you're balancing here, engage your core, sit up nice and straight. You're going to really press into that left foot. So the top of your left foot is pressing into the ground. Your knee is pressing into the ground. You might want to put something under your knees. So maybe like, maybe if you have a blanket, or they even make yoga foam things, like little knee pads for yoga. I used to have one, but something terrible happened to it. Or just like anything, you could even take your mat and fold it like this if you don't have anything on hand, and just have that extra support on your knee, because sometimes when you're like balancing on your knee, it can kind of hurt. That goes with any bony part. So like if you're doing any yoga pose and you notice that there's pain, not from like the pose itself, but because you're pressing on the ground with the bony part of your body, totally pad that part of your body. So like what we're doing right now with our knee. So your left leg parallel, knee down on the mat, pressing down from the top of your foot, pressing down in your knee. Your right heel is also pressing into the earth. Remember to bring your shoulders up, pull them back, and drop them down. The base of your spine is reaching towards earth, so you can even imagine, to help you get more aligned, roots as if from a tree, or even mycelium from a mushroom, reaching down from the base of your spine into the earth, stabilizing you. And then from the crown of your head, you can imagine an energetic net connecting you to the universe, to source, to everybody alive, from up in the up in the stars, up in the sky. So you really are an energetic being, a current of energy at all times. And when you tap into that, it feels really good. So sit up nice and tall, reach your arms up above your head, keeping your spine long, fold forward as much as you can. So if you stay right here, that's totally fine. I'd much rather you stay here than mess up the alignment of your spine, because it may give you some kind of sense of accomplishment in the short term. In the long term, it's actually going to do damage on your body. So right now, today, this is where I'm at, for real. So no shame wherever you're at. And if you want to, go ahead and bring your feet to either your leg, to the ground. If you have yoga blocks or even books, I'll show you what you can do. I don't have any yoga blocks. I need to get some new ones. I used to have them. They're really handy, especially when you're new to yoga. But you can even use books like this, and it just gives you more stability and more room to play in a pose, so you're not having to stay all the way up here. If this feels better for you, you can fold forward and put your hands on some blocks or books or anything you have to like stack it up. And now from here, you're still folding, sit back up, bring that front foot flat on the ground, toes are still pointing forward, pressing into all four corners of your front foot, really grounding it into earth, and you're still pressing down on the top of your back foot too, and just come forward, stretching out your hip. Make sure to keep your knee above your ankle. And you can fold forward here, bring your hands to the ground. And then we're gonna straighten this leg again, so come into where we just were. And you might have to sit up a bit more to get into a better pose here. And then we're gonna bend it. So straighten it and bend. Inhale and straighten it. Exhale and bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. And while we're bent forward like this, come put your weight onto the palms of your hand, grounding down into all 10 fingers, and then bring your right foot behind you. Coming back. Woo. Don't follow me right now. I'm being weird. Just come back onto your knees. My floor is actually really hard, and it's bothering my knees, so I'm going to use this blanket to really pad my knee. You might need to do something similar. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Remember to press down with the top of your right foot and come onto your left, the heel of your left foot. Bring your shoulders up, draw them back, and drop them down. Find your balance here. And reach your arms up, reach to the sky. Bring your hands together at your heart center and fold forward. As much as you can with a long spine. You can use yoga blocks. You can stay up here. Do whatever feels good for you today. It's not about how you look, it's about how you feel. And then we're going to put that foot flat on the ground, keeping your knee above your ankle, and coming down, stretching out your hips. And then we're going to start with the kind of tricky part where you're going to inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Remembering to keep your spine in alignment as you do it. So you might have to really sit back up when you straighten, like I kind of do. And then you can fall back forward when you bend. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend, and then bring your hands down. Bring this foot back to meet the other foot. Inhale your arms all the way up. And sit down, sit back. Whew. we are gonna take some pigeon poses. So slide your arms forward. Bring your right leg parallel to the front of your mat from your knee to your foot. Flex your right foot. Have your left leg behind you in a straight line so your toes are pointed straight behind you. And remember, if this hurts your knee, come out of it. Don't do it. Not worth it. And come into reverse pigeon or thread the needle pose, which looks like this. We did it yesterday. So you're getting the same stretch. It's just on your back, and it'll be safer for your knee if pigeon is bothering you. And like, if you want to do that one instead, go be my guest. You don't even have to be in pain. You could just like it better. It's up to you. Your body, your practice. That's the beauty of doing yoga at home alone. You can really make any modifications or changes that you want to and not have to worry. I mean, in any good yoga class, you wouldn't have to worry anyways, but okay. So getting into our pigeon, flexing our front right foot, keeping it bent. Inhale, sit up nice and tall as you can. And exhale, folding forward. Breathing here. It's a really intense hip stretch. All of your emotions, your stored emotions, are kept in your hips and within your sacral chakra. So when you do intense hip stretches, it's totally normal to get really emotional. You might cry. Some feelings might come up, and that's totally normal, totally fine. Just let yourself feel them and let them process. But I advise against trying to attach any emotions that come up to any stories. Like, for sure, there's a reason behind your emotions, and there's a reason that they got stuck in your energy and stored there. But dwelling on the story and the reason and the event, like what happened, that's not going to help you heal. It'll keep the emotions stuck and possibly attract more of the same thing into your life when you're focusing on it. So to really truly heal from a stored emotion, a traumatic, any trauma stored within you, is to allow your body to feel it and then release it. And you can do that right here, right now. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn out thing. You don't have to talk about what happened or relive it or think about it. You can just allow your body to do its thing, feel it, process, and release. Breathe into it. And if you want to stay here for longer, just reach on over and press the pause button, because I am about to sit on up and take it on the other side. So bring that left leg in front of you, flex your left foot, bring your shin parallel to the front of your mat, bring your right foot pointed straight behind you. And maybe this hurts your knee, your right knee, and it didn't hurt your knee on the other side. Like if it hurts now, even if you took normal pigeon on the other side, if this side's bothering you, come into reverse pigeon. Don't do it. Don't let yourself be in pain. There's a big difference between an intense stretch or an intense workout than actual pain. And your knees in general, like you don't stretch your knees. So if you feel a negative sensation in your knees, completely stop what you're doing. Your knees are not, there's no knee stretches. Knees are very sensitive, and you need to take care of them so that they can take care of you. So get in your pigeon on the opposite side. Bring your shoulders up, pull them back, drop them down. A nice long spine, and then fold forward. Allowing any emotions to come up, allowing yourself to feel them. sinking into the pose. We're not dwelling on any past experiences. You're safe. You're okay. What's happened has happened, and now you can heal and be and do anything you want. You deserve it. I totally invite you to pause the video if you want to stay here for longer. But if you're ready, let's sit back up. Bring that right leg to meet your left one, coming into Sukhasana. You can take any movements here that you want. Maybe some more circles. Maybe just some stillness. Whatever feels good for you. And then we're gonna lay all our back onto our backs. Hug your legs in. Grab the outsides of your feet, your pinky toe sides of your feet with your hands. You can crunch your toes, rub your feet, and then we're gonna bring our knees into our armpits into happy baby. You can rock back and forth here. Maybe straightening one leg and then the other. And then hugging your legs together. Stay here with your legs hugged in. Don't follow me. Keep your legs hugged. We're gonna take a little twist before coming into Sukhasana. I just had my son meowing at the door and I had to let him in. I couldn't ignore him. Buddy. Okay, so you're still here with your legs hugged in. Drop them off to the right and look over your left. And then drop them off to the left and look over your right. And then come back to center and we're gonna come into Shavasana. I invite you to do any other movements or poses or whatever you want to do. If you wanted to add something to your practice before meeting us in Shavasana. Buddy, he's eating my painting. Sir, that's cheeky. I apologize, my friend. So now we are in Shavasana. Clear your mind. Let go of any tension. Reaching your arms up over your head. Nice big stretch. Roll off onto your right side. Unless you're pregnant, then you should roll off onto your left side, fun fact. But if you're not pregnant, your right side will do. And slowly taking your time, meet me back in Sukhasana. Bring your hands together at heart center. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to the universe, and be kind to all life everywhere. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for day 6, and I will see you tomorrow for day 7. Keep up the good work. I am so proud of you.